Mike Watkins here with the Wholesaling 101. I'm Mike the Wholesaler. It is Friday the 5th of November. Remember. Thanksgiving's coming up. I think Thanksgiving will happen before. Let's see. No, we'll meet back on the 19th. All right. So we got Thanksgiving this month. Big holidays coming up. So it's the time to start wholesaling, get that first deal so you can have extra presents. All right. There's my contact info. I put that in the chat. There's my Facebook group you can join. You can @ Mike the Wholesaler wherever you think I might be at. And about me. All right, I'm married to an amazing, beautiful, shy wife. I got 2 crazy kids. There they are. There's Noah and Lincoln. There they are again. So now Lincoln has a birthday in a couple of days. And then Noah's birthday is on Thanksgiving. So Lincoln is going to be 6 and Noah's going to be 8. All right. And if you live in Atlanta and you got kids around that age, let me know. We're going to do birthday at Big Air, so it's always nice to talk about real estate because there's no adults that I know from school that do that. So I collect monopolies. I'm the wholesaling supergroup leader. I won Teacher of the Year in 2018 for wholesaling boot camp. Homework last month. We only had one Wholesaling 101, and I talked about hiring a VA. I believe I handed one out. So if you could see the recording of that, there's the phone number and contact info of those. I think a couple of other people have submitted. So if you do need a VA, reach out, let me know. I'll just pass them along to you. Hire one of them, give them a task. And if you haven't done your first deal yet, pretend that you are the VA and just do all that work, yourself. And then once you do that first deal, hire the VA. So the homework is optional this time. We are talking about how to sell your wholesale deals. And I want to do some dyslexic stuff first and sort of switch it up. Because one of my students was having trouble. They were getting these deals and then having trouble selling them. So it's sort of like the chicken and the egg. What comes first? Do you go after sellers first or buyers first? And for me, it's a little weird because I say go after sellers first, but technically you're going after buyers first because buyers don't really give you the time of day unless you have a deal. So I would say, go get a deal. So the buyers will give you the time of day because they get everybody and their brother and their mother saying, hey, I've got this deal. I work with a network of investors nationwide that source deals and deeply discounted deals. They hear that spiel all the time because everybody tells them to say that. So what I say is look up buyers, but don't talk to the buyers. See what they're buying, what they're buying, where they're buying, and look at the how much they're buying it for and how often they're buying it for. So if you look up what they're buying, who's buying the most of, and who's paying the most in a zip code, then when you get a deal there, it's going to be easy to sell. So normally, you look for a deal in a good area, you get that deal, and then you start looking for buyers. Okay. And that's really hard to do because you're not really it's going to be hard. You're then going to look for buyers. You're going to have 2 weeks to 4 weeks to sell that property. And that's really hard to do. So let's come up in here. This is batch driven. And this is a CRM that I use. I manage all the leads. The only issue with it is that it doesn't do calling yet, but they have added research. They've added connectivity with Zapier. And if you know Zapier, Zapier also works with Mojo Dialer, and of course, Batch Driven's very own Batch Dialer, which is kind of weird. But in the meantime, I'm going to be working on connecting the caller, which I use as Mojo, which is probably the best caller, with Batch Driven. And that way I can make calls to people and have them come into Batch Driven. And then I can also have them go to Podio for things like rental properties and stuff. Because everything in Batch is the house. So you plug in the house, and then it, Batch Driven, looks up. So let's go here. I'll show you. Look. So, oh, there's a house. Okay. Owner occupant. Let's look up this one. Can I look up a different house? What's going on? Craig. Head. Drive. Oh, Sandy Springs. Okay. So it's not Atlanta. All right. We'll bring up a property. There we go. Okay. All right. So here's a property. I'll click on add to property, and then you can see that it finds the property. If you were to upload a list of properties, you upload the list of properties, and you can upload emails and phone numbers, and then it will just pull public data. So it doesn't really lend itself to like wholesalers or texting realtors or anything like that. So that's why you need that connectivity. But let's see, who do we have? Somebody give me a city. You can give me a city or a county where you're at, and I will pull everything in that city or everything in that county, or I can just do Atlanta like I'm gonna do, and I can show you where everything is. So I'm in Cobb, so I would pull Cobb, which is Cobb County, Paulding County, and Douglas. Okay, Michelle, we got a hand. Let's see, how do I do this? Allow to talk. All right. Do you have a question, Michelle?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thank you. Glad you're feeling better.
Thanks.
Okay. I've been having a tough time because I'm doing wholesaling, and I cannot locate these owners. So I raised my hand because you were asking to give a county or a city, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so it's Stockton, California. The address is 1133 Airport Way, West Airport Way, I think. Yeah.
And that's Boise, Idaho?
Oh, no, it's Stockton, California. I'm in California. I'm near San Francisco Bay Area.
It's not pulling it up. So
right. See, I was having the same issue.
Yeah, so wow, it even.
And I was doing prop streams, so
So here, there's a city that used to be part of Atlanta and it is now broken off and become its own city. But when you look it up, you have to look up the old city. So it comes up
Okay.
as Atlanta, and what it should become up Sandy Springs. So you said 1133 West there.
Airport Lane. I mean, excuse me, Airport Way.
All right, so I'm going to Google search this.
Okay.
Okay, let's get rid of it. Are you sure it's West Airport?
Yes.
And you've been to this like address? You saw this when you were, you know?
That driving for dollars.
Okay.
It's boarded up. The house is boarded up now.
Doesn't seem to exist. Okay. Do you know the zip code?
I don't know the zip code offhand.
What about the city?
Stockton, California.
And that's Stockton.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, I bought a house here on back when I had TomTom, which is like how long ago it was. And it was routing me there. It routed me there, you know, to the road next to it. And when I actually like went up the road, saw the address, went up the next road, the house was up there, and I saved that spot into the TomTom. And every time I would come back, it would say turn left on road. So like that road didn't exist in the maps. And I realized when I was making offers, it was just me and one other guy, and I got it for like 46,000.
Nice.
Like my bid won because mine was cash. The other guy was looking. So maybe that sort of thing is here, that Google Maps or whatever it is hasn't been down that road.
Okay. Because it's on a busy street. That's why I'm like, okay.
Or maybe it's been renamed. Airport Way.
You mean the house itself or the street?
Maybe the street has been renamed, and like they haven't replaced the road signs.
Oh, okay. Because it's a pretty long stretch, and for the stretch while I was driving on it, it was like over a mile or two.
Okay, so I have found a 1133 North Airport Way, Stockton, California.
Is it a White House?
Let's see.
I may have said the wrong address. I can't get into my phone. I'm driving wireless, so
yeah, it's a 4-lane road. Okay, are you seeing my screen right now?
I see your screen. Yes, yes, that looks familiar.
Okay, so it's North Airport Way. So let's go back. Right there. Yeah. Okay.
Do you use PropStream? You're not using PropStream. Have you ever used PropStream or never?
Yeah, so the setup before this, I had I was using PropStream to pull the leads,
Okay.
and then I was using Zapier to pull them into FreedomSoft,
Uh-huh.
and that was what I was doing.
Okay.
And so the reason I went to this one was because you have to pull them in PropStream, you have to pull the leads out, and after you skip them, and you have to put
Right.
them in your CRM. And now it's not.
Well, I'm gonna try the software you have because PropStream is it's expensive, and I don't feel I'm getting everything I need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like it's so hard because they have that farming tool where like anything that meets your criteria,
Mhm.
like that pops up later on,
Yeah.
like gets added to the list. And that's such a nice feature. But the problem is that when you do that, you have to pull that new lead out and put it back into your CRM.
Okay. And see, and with me, I'm not so computer literate. You know, I usually, because my husband is in IT, I let him do that part. But I'm trying to navigate my way through it much better, but I'm still having difficulties. So it might be me and operating it as well, you know. But
Okay.
I want the best for whatever I'm paying for, you know.
All right. So I'm in batch driven right now, and I've dropped the little guy, and so I'm doing Street View in batch driven because it's having trouble bringing it up. And there's the house, and I'm going to click on it and see if it'll.
Is it on the corner? It's a
I
house
don't.
that's
Something's up
sitting
because
on the corner. It's near the yeah, it was the end lot, right on the corner.
man, you see this like part of the like man, it's glitching out. Something's weird going on with this property. All right,
Yeah.
so it sold recently. 1918 is when it was built. It's got 1,200 square feet, so it's a 2-1. So I would say you could probably there's enough square feet there to add a bed and a bath.
Okay.
Um,
So did you say it's sold now? Or that was
it
just a
sold
previous?
recently.
Ah, okay.
What is going on? I've never seen it glitch out like this.
How much is the software that you use monthly?
This it starts out at 50. I'm on the $200, which does everything. But
Ooh,
it's I like the pay model because it is not. There we go. So pulling leads is free. You don't pay
uh-huh,
for pulling leads. You
uh-huh.
pay to skip trace those leads.
Okay. How much is their skip tracing?
It's 5 cents a lead,
Oh
and
wow.
uh, and of course everybody does LLCs now.
Yeah, right.
Man, something is so weird about this property.
You said it's sold, and do they indicate a date on there when it's sold? Or did you say?
I was looking that up, and then it started glitching out on me.
Oh,
And then,
okay.
all right, so let me go back here. North Airport Way. What is this property? Yeah, what is going on? All right, this is 1144. This one is 1154. What is that one? 1136. Okay, so we put the guy next to that one. Man, that is strange. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. What is this one? It's 11:28.
You were right. When, yes, 11:33, I believe it was.
All right. So the numbers are getting lower that way.
In order to be for certain about this property, what do you suggest I do? Should I skip trace it?
Well,
Because I don't want you to spend too much time. There's other people in the group, so I don't want to
yeah, yeah.
time.
Okay. Man, that is so strange. Now it's like it doesn't exist anywhere.
Oh wow, that's so weird. How does that ever happen though? Like even just because of it might be a change of sign or they change the street name and all that.
I don't know.
Okay.
But the thing is if I'm having this much trouble finding it, everybody else must be having the same amount of trouble finding it. So let me put this on hold.
Yeah.
And
Oh yeah, for sure.
Let's see.
Yeah, don't spend any more time with it. I can check with you, offline and email you or something. Because I'm having the darndest time. Even not only this property, there was a couple of others as well, and I skip traced them in. Yet and still there was no identity of an owner's name and phone numbers. So I was wondering if it's me or PropStream.
Yeah, I think it's the data. Okay. What county is this in?
This is Alameda County.
Alameda?
Alameda County, yes.
How do you spell that?
ALAMEDA.
DA?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we get residential. We want absentee owner. And we don't care about on market or off. And we want cash buyer. All right, let's go. And then we're going to save those to a folder.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a new folder.
I love driving for dollars, but the research when you get home, it's extreme.
Oh man.
I'm just like, man, oh man, I thought I was skating free, but no, it's a lot of work to wholesaling. I thought that, but I'm gonna stick with it because it's a start,
All right, so I just saved all of those to it. I'm gonna go to data or settings, and then I'm gonna go to data management here, and we're gonna export some deals. And I'm going to export everything from that folder that I just did. So wholesaling 101. You could export, by owner, if there's skip trace, deal status. We're going to do in that folder.
Okay.
And then apply, and then it'll take some time. And let me know when it's done.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. Appreciate your time.
I got the app on my phone. Let me see. They don't have night mode. I love dark mode, night mode, whatever you call it. Like it's so much easier on the eyes, but they don't have that on the phone. So it's bright white. So I don't know if y'all will be able to see it, but in the phone, it uses GPS. I don't know if you can see that, but it says start tracking.
Yeah.
If you go to track, you pick a folder, and I make a driving for deals folder.
Uh-huh.
And any time you see a property when you're driving about, you can just click on the property. And you see that one's owner occupied. Let's see if we can find one that's absentee owner. Okay, so we'll look at this property. So while we're driving around, I can click on that property. It'll add it to, once you get to this screen, it's saved the property. So that other button we look at says save and view. But if you need to, you can move it to another folder. You can hit the deal status. You can even make your own statuses, like research this deal, skip trace them, whatever you need. I pay an extra $10 and have the Google Street View image. But if you're driving, you can actually take a picture, which I suggest you do, of the property, and it's like state, and it will upload that to it.
Okay. I didn't even think about turning on prop stream while I was driving. And when it just caught my eye, and I was like, okay, I'll remember the
now
address.
the app for PropStream may have GPS, and if so, then that would be really good, because then you can,
Yeah, they finally added that, so it's cool. Yeah.
All right, and then you can skip trace right from there, and of course you see all the data. What we do now is we look at the it gives an estimated value, equity, and a confidence score, but we look at the, what is it? There's usually estimated value, and then we take like the confidence score from that, or we'll the tax assessor number, and that's what we need to get it at to wholesale it instead of doing all the numbers. And then yeah, you've got everything right here. And so you just basically walk around or drive around. You drive around and you just click on the properties, and then it will save them to that folder. So everything you've skip traced or that you've tagged while you're driving around for deals gets saved. So you don't have to write the addresses down. And you can even click on the whole folder and then skip trace it. And I don't know if you can do it right from the phone, but they have texting campaigns where you set up the messages to send out. I do them like every 2 days. I've got a 7 message thing that goes out every 2 days. So every 2 days it will send them a text. So let's go here and download the data. So it should have downloaded. I gotta move this the box. All right, here we go. All right, I've got a Google sheet here. I'm going to import the stuff that we just downloaded. Let's see. So the problem with the last CRM, and I say this like every time we do this, the problem with the last CRM is I had to have like PropStream, I had to have deal machines. So when I drive for deals and have other people drive for deals, and then I had to have the CRM, then I had to have a separate site to skip trace them. And you're paying for each of those sites, usually like $100 for each one. And then you're having to like link them together, and it's just too much work. And so Batch Driven had the most in it. They don't have calling in it yet. I don't know what's taking them so long. That's the only thing I'm waiting on. Once they do that, they'll literally have everything. All right. Turn my resume.
Did you say you're in the Atlanta area?
Yeah, I'm in the Atlanta's huge, so I'm in the northwest OTP, so outside of the perimeter of Atlanta.
Okay.
So we're gonna go in here and freeze the top row, and we've got property address, we've got owner name, first name, last name, all this good stuff. And then I will open up, is this, no, that's Google Street View, okay. Here I'm gonna do my
Have you
map.
done anything in California?
No, I did have a student that was in California, and at the time there wasn't the ratio of buyers to sellers was so off that he went virtually into Las Vegas. So haven't done anything, and nobody that I know of has done anything in California.
Okay. So with the information that you've put on the screen earlier, because I would like to become one of your students. Is that the information I go after?
All right, yeah. We can talk about that afterward.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Create new My Map. So My Map is where you create your own map. You do like your own thing. You can put places down as you want, but what I will do is I will upload or import that list of buyers, or more importantly, the properties that they bought. So I'm going to select a file, and I'm going to do the original one. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay. All right, so we want the address, the street, which is the, I think the address is I believe the address is the number, and then the street is the street name. And then, oh, wait. Let's just go back to the file. Is it, oh, no. So, oh, property address is all of it. No, I don't like to do that. Here we go. So I'll get rid of property address. And so we'll do the number and the street name, and then we'll do city, state, and zip. Or we could just do property address, but having that all in one column, I think we'll get better stuff this way. Okay, so now we have to come up with what to call each of those things. And I'm going to call them the street, so that we have the street name on there. All right, so it's going to load it all up, and then it's going to like zoom into California. Hopefully there's no leads in there that are on the other side of the planet. Sometimes when I look up MLS here in Cobb County, there ends up being a lead somewhere in like Ghana. So, all right, so it's loading. Okay. While that's loading, I'm gonna go back here, and I'm gonna do this A to Z. Okay. And just see if any like stick out. So, wait. Oh my gosh, did I really do that? So the folders. Oh, wait a minute. think I messed up. So I'm going to filter and then folder and then wholesale 101. Why? Oh, yeah. Okay. So what happened? Why do I have? All right, let me do it again. Because I uploaded a Georgia list of, I think, Cobb County. So let me import this this list. Okay. All right, there. So it should just. Is this it? This is okay. Oh, maybe it saved it as a new thing. All right, so Cali buyers. All right, and then we want to go back and freeze. The row. Okay. And then I'm gonna download this as a CSV. All right, and then with that downloaded, I'm going to import that into Google My Maps. Just so I make sure. All right. That was weird. Okay. Prop street, property city, property state, property zip. And then we want property street as the name. It's just easier to have the title of each pin on the map be the street name. Like the owner's name, you're not going to know like, oh, that's the house on that road. So hopefully this should come up quicker. All right, so I'm going to uncheck on this one. Man, that's so weird. Okay, so these properties are in California. Oh yeah, this student I had was in Los Angeles, and so he decided on Las Vegas because it was a 3-hour drive away. So if he had to, he could just drive down there. And his stick was he would always have his kids with him, and his name was his company name was Mr. Mom Buys Houses, and so the postcards would have him with 2 kids and like a vacuum, and
That's pretty dope.
yeah, whatever you can do to stand out.
Right.
All right, so looking at this, it looks like there's 2 big clumps right here. So there's this big one and this one.
Okay.
Now, where are you at on, like, are you up here or down here? Or where do you live?
I can't see that good. I don't have my glasses on and I'm driving, so I can't watch the screen.
Do you live
But
north or south?
I'm in San Francisco area, Bay Area.
Okay. All right. So I think this top one might be closer to you.
So like
Look.
very close to Oakland, California. I'm like a city away from San Francisco, in between living in Alameda and Oakland is the next city beside me.
Oh, I don't know. Okay. So as I zoom in a little bit more, you see how like clumped all of these houses are that got bought?
Yeah, I see the cluster.
And these are like spread out. So this, I'm hoping this is not like one subdivision, and it doesn't look like it. Okay. That's really good. Okay. So yeah, these look like just regular houses. It's just everybody's buying here. What is this? Worsport? Is this Woodstock, maybe? I can't see because of all of the, well, let's click on one. Alameda, okay.
Yeah, Alameda.
Yeah. All right. And what's the zip code on that one?
94501.
And is that the zip code for all of these?
If it's in Alameda, yes, we only have one zip code.
Oh, okay. All right. So that is looking like our zip code. So 94501. So that's the zip code that we want to target. So if we get a property in there,
Wow.
we're going to have all of those buyers, and not just those buyers, but you know, if we go after those buyers, we're going to have a pretty good chance that other people who haven't bought yet are also going to want it, because it's a highly contested area. Man, look at that. It's like half a sheet. Okay. All right, right here. Okay. So I'm gonna.
So do you suggest I switch over my software from PropStream to the one you're using?
Well, so PropStream is not a CRM. It is a lead finder, and then you export out of there, or you link it with your CRM.
Okay.
So if you don't have a CRM yet to link with it, I would say get Mojo Dialer, which is a caller,
Okay.
and I would just export them out of there and load them right into Mojo, and then just start calling them. And now Mojo is not a CRM, or it's not a complete CRM, but they do have notes. So when you call somebody and they say, oh, that's me, I'm the owner, but I don't want to sell, you can immediately say, you know, move them off the list or add them to do not call. If they pick up and they're like, hey, I'm not the owner, wrong number, you can click like wrong number, and it won't call that number ever again. And it'll just go through that whole list, and you can call that same list again, and it'll just move from person to person. And you can call like 300 people a day. So I would say that's the best thing to do, because that's what I'm doing right now. And then once you do a deal, then you can get the CRM, and I would connect them. But it'll get the job done right now.
Okay.
And then as far as like determining what your offer should be, there's a button that you can click on that will take you to the Zillow link. And then from there, you can see what it previously sold for, if it has recently been bought or sold after 1985. And then you can also click on a link and go to the tax assessor site and get what the tax value is, I believe it is.
Yeah.
And that is usually what your wholesale offer is going to be.
Okay.
So you really don't need you don't have to have a CR. That's what I would do.
Okay. Can you tell me what the CRN is? Because I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, so I think I got an affiliate link somewhere. Give me a second. I got an affiliate. I think it gives you like $5 or something stupid like that. Let me see. All right. Oh no. It's not wanting to do that. All right, so go to, I'll put it in the chat.
Okay, cool.
That is so weird that it Wants me to give cookies. Okay. All right. So batchdriven.com. And I think what they did was they had batch leads, which is they would pull leads, and then they had batch skip tracing.
Yeah.
They had batch dialing or batch dialer that would do texting and calling. And so they've put a couple of those things together and made a CRM. And I love the customer service. I had Freedom Soft, and you would go to a page and you would submit a ticket. And you know what that's like, because you'd have an email is basically what you would be sending. But in here, you can do this right here. So if I go here, down here, you click on this, instantly start chat with somebody. Yeah, I've never had to wait more than like 5 minutes to get somebody to respond. I mean, at any hour.
Yeah. I like that feature. That would work all day long for me. I'd burn that out.
Yeah, and man, I just can't say enough like good stuff about it. I mean, it's great. I don't know if y'all remember this or if you saw this, but look. So I have an account manager. So Shane, and I got the email, and they text me like on a regular basis, like, you know, how are you doing? And when you first sign up, you will get an email or a text, and they will set you up on a webinar, a live webinar, not like a pre-recorded one, and they will tell you, or they'll show you how to like work the system. And if you add anybody onto your team, like both of the two people that I've added, I told her, hey, I need a link to sign them up for the next webinar. And they jumped on board and got onboarded, learned how to use the system. So I didn't have to teach them anything.
Nice.
So here we have owner name, and I've categorized this A to Z. And I want to see if some people show up multiple times. So like, we're probably not going to skip trace well. We might get the phone number for Associa in Cal Inc. And they might, you know, be not enough of a corporation to want to deal with us.
Yeah.
But it's these like mom and pop people here that we want to get to. And so there's not a whole lot of buyers. It looks like, wow, your house buying business is T&T Wholesaler. Man, like, just tell the seller. Okay. So there's not a whole lot of repeat people, which probably, you know, so aside from this Associa in Cal Inc., there's not a lot of multiple people on here, which probably means that there's so much of a demand that they're not being able to buy multiple properties.
Yeah.
Which is good, but there's really no way to tell that. So if I were pulling a list here, I would usually, I'd say like 90% of the time, I would find multiple buyers. Like there would be like 5 or 6 of each person, you know, and it's usually like they'll buy one in a neighborhood and then they'll come back and buy a couple. Or it may just be that they're smart and they're just making a different LLC for each property. Yeah, there's not multiple buyers. Okay. Yeah. All right. So now let's see if there's any other info. No. Okay. We've got assessed value, square footage, current mortgage equity, sale price. So we can look up sale date and see probably the most recent. Oh, all right. All right, here we go. Yeah, what is it? All right, there we go. All right, so we got 2021. let's see. So they usually takes about 6 months to do a rehab and then turn around and buy again, or we could just take all of 2021. Let's just do that. All right.
No matter the extent of the work, it's usually like 6 months.
It's usually 6 months on average. And the reason you want that is because if they're working on a deal now, if they just bought a deal, they're usually going to wait 6 months from now to, come back to the market and be looking for the next deal.
Okay, gotcha.
Oh, there's UK Investment LLC. So they bought a couple. But a lot of these people have bought before the pandemic, like the majority of them. And so if you do go back a couple of years, make sure that you do not go past the when the pandemic started, like March,
Okay.
April of 2020. All right. And so let's go back here and bring it to the top. Okay, here we go.
So like, would June be a good one? Because I think did pandemic started like in March or April, or was it February?
Yeah. Because everybody that was buying before that may not be buying now. And so you just want to make sure they're buying during the pandemic and that they're still buying.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so here we go. These are people who bought this year, and here are properties they bought. And so they bought the most in this zip code. And so let's download this again, and we'll put it back into My Maps and see if that looks different. And so I'll make another, let me show you this part first. All right, so here we've got, I'll add a layer and then we'll import it here.
Okay.
All right.
How much time did it take you to build a team?
Oh man, so I've been doing it since 2009. And so I didn't really build a team. I had VAs and the CRM and stuff working for me. But I recently, so I had this buddy of mine, and I had a deal in not Rockmart. I had this deal in Woodstock. And so I was like, oh man, that's Eli. So I was like, all right. I sent him a message on Facebook and I was like, hey, I got this deal. Do you want to take a look at it? The next message I get, he says, oh, I've looped in my buying coordinator. And so I dealt with her. I never even met him. I was like, man, I thought we were going to meet at the property, catch up. And I met her at the property. And I was like, so what happens to Eli? She was like, he never leaves the house anymore. He just calls. And so her whole thing is, or his whole deal is to just get her in front of properties, in front of sellers. And then her whole thing is to get them under contract. And then she gives them to the other guy, Preston, which is like, of course it's Preston, and gets it to Preston. And then Preston then buys everything. He's got the money. And so she said, oh, Eli just called me up one day and said, hey, you want to eat Mexican and meet this guy with a ton of money named Preston? She was like, okay. And so they did it a three-way business LLC. So they're all owners. And then he does the calling and just makes calls and gets appointments. She goes on those appointments and gets contracts. And then Preston signs his name on all the stuff. Because I was like, oh, I want to wholesale. I don't want my name to be on everything. I don't want it to be known that I have lots of money. And so she was like, oh, well, Preston signs everything. His name's on the stuff. And so nobody knows that she or Eli is even there in the process. And I was like, wow. And so I was trying to do that with Tasha and Terrell. And then, of course, something happened with Tasha. So it's just me and Terrell now.
Okay.
But
So is
so
it still working out, or is it more harder than without the other
uh,
person?
yeah, because she would call people. Her other job was calling you about your car's extended warranty. So
Okay.
she was used to no, obviously getting rejected, which was great. Um, but so yeah, that's been tough. But or maybe I should make the calls, then I can have Terrell go on the appointment. So I'm going to go here, and I'm going to change this color to green. Okay. So you can see now, you see the blue is all of the buyers. Now the green are just those people that bought this year, and we can remove them by clicking on that layer. And you see we got one out here. Is that?
Yeah, where is that?
Oh, that's not part of the list. Okay. It's the emblem for it is a circle, so it just looks
Okay.
like it. Uh, there we go.
So the red is indication. Oh, okay.
These are people who bought this year in that zip code. So I would say like this area and this area is where you should be focusing. Of course, it's around a Trader Joe's, around
Okay.
where I would be driving for deals.
Okay.
Now, Batch Driven does this, and Deal Machine does this as well. I don't know if PropStream does this. They might,
Okay.
because I know they're constantly updating their stuff. But it will, as you drive around, you say start tracking, it will
Yeah.
put a green line of where you've driven. And then after, I think it's 6 months or 3 months, it'll turn yellow. And then 3 more months, it will turn red. And so you can see all the red places I haven't driven by in a while, and you redrive them. And it also show you, if you're driving in a neighborhood and you drive by the same road multiple times, the neighbors will start to get spooked, and
Right. Exactly.
and also you want to make sure that you hit every road. So it'll show you what roads you haven't gone down. I mean, you don't know how many deals I've lost where it was that one road that was like, a quarter mile with a cul-de-sac at the end, and I'm like, oh, you're
Yeah.
down here.
And that's probably been my mishap as well, because it's so much citywide here. And like I was saying, I am not so great when it comes to, um, navigating through PropStream. I'm not too familiar with it all. And so I know I missed so many streets, and, it's traumatizing.
Mm-hmm.
It's so the citywide, like even in Oakland, it's huge. Alameda's a small island. I can definitely, I know Alameda with my eyes closed, but like when I go out to other cities, I'm familiar as well, but not to the point where the city is so big. It's just like a lot. So I miss a lot.
Here it is. Okay, I know where we are. All right. So it's showing up all of these properties here. So what I'm going to do
so awesome
is I'm going to go to my properties. I'm going to go to filter, and I'm going to pull up that folder. Just make sure. Okay. And then I'm going to select all. And now I can skip trace folder. I can start mailing. So what it'll do is, I don't have a postcard here, but it will print a postcard for each of these people, and then it will put a picture of the property on the postcard, and it'll say, we want to buy this house. So these are all absentee. If this were a list of sellers, I would do this, and it would say, this property you haven't seen in a while. And of course, if you're driving for deals and you take a fresh new picture, they're gonna like the wear and tear, and it sends sort of like you are shook at this thing with your beat up property on it.
Right.
And you don't want to do that if they live in the property, but of course you don't want to be marketing to people who live in the property anyway. And then of course you can start them on SMS and then
Okay.
change the status. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete all of these people. And I am now going to use this cool feature that I haven't done a lot with called boundary.
Boundary.
Yeah, so it's right here. There's where you can like type in the name, the location, like the city, the zip code, whatever, and then they have.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna select right here. And I think I'm gonna do that.
That's a goat. Let's do that.
Yes. Come on.
Okay. Oh, it won't. All right. I was thinking it was going to let me set the boundary and then I can move it. All right. So I will do this instead. I will do that. Let me move this. All right. So here are the properties in that boundary. Now I can select when they were built. We don't want anything built, I would say,
Before
2010. No, wait. It's 07, I think, when the market crashed. Okay. So we'll do 2007. But like the properties that they were buying, you know, or well, that one property you saw was 1918. So we want absentee owner. We don't want them living in the property because if they live in the property, and then we want not on the market. So just like PropStream, they remove all the ones that are listed because they're not really motivated. There's that many. So we want to do vacant. We want nobody in the property. That way we know they're super motivated. And of course that's 4. Wow. All right. So maybe not. Let's do unknown equity.
Yeah, I'm
Inherited. Tired landlord.
Have a good one at work, bro.
Tax delinquent. And vacant. Sure. Okay. So we're going to save these. And these are going to be in that folder, Wholesaling 101. All right. So save properties. All right. Now we're going to go back to boundary. And we're going to do it again. And now if I get like multiple properties, like if I get the same property in here, and it's not gonna duplicate it. So there's only, I can only have one of each, which is like amazing. All right, so then I'll just keep saving these to the folder. All right, and I'm gonna make sure I get all these.
What is your software called again? I just made it home. I wanted to tell my husband.
Oh, it's called batch driven.
Batch driven?
Yeah, just like it sounds.
Okay.
All right, so there's Wholesaling 101.
Let's do this and I will need it for you.
Okay, select the folder. And I think this will be the last time.
Can't see.
All right, so wholesale 101, save properties. Okay. So now we go to properties. And you can see they're all here.
Yeah.
On the, well, I've got my picture. Okay, there. Do we have any other? Okay, no. You can see I see all of the properties here.
Yeah.
And as I zoom in, you see like, oh, they're all new. So I see new properties as these are the ones that need to be skip traced and then move on to the next one. And bless you. We both ended up getting that sinus infection.
Oh, sinus is not cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Can I show? Yeah, I can show you here. Okay. So here's a property, and I'll go more in depth next week. I was going to talk about this last episode, but if you click on statuses here, what we do now is we do help. So we help sellers sell it. We are consultants. So we're not like telling them, hey, we want to buy your house. We tell them we want to help them, whether they need to sell it, fund it, find tenants, find contractors, or help with payments. And all of those ways we make money, like a little bit of money, but it's the selling, which is where we wholesale it. And I'll talk more in depth next episode.
Okay.
But so
Thank you so
basically,
much.
oh yeah, no problem. Thank you for letting me use you as like to show people, because I show every time, usually in Atlanta, and at least this time I can be helpful. So once they're new, we know to go in there and start marketing to them, like crazy, and get them to the next status. But all right, so it's 8:12. I went overboard, and I didn't get to talk about everything here. And I wanted to give y'all new information instead of the same old information that I had in the slides here.
Yeah.
But these slides are the 11th week of so for being a member of the REI, you get access to I think it's called Mike's online wholesale course. It's one of the free courses that you get, and if you go to week 11, you can watch that video, and you can get all the information here on how to sell your properties.
Okay. Thank you so much. You're very helpful. And thank you for looking up that property for me.
Oh, yeah. Anytime.
Do they have a free, for the software you have? Do they do any free trials?
Oh, it's a 7-day free trial. And they give you, I think, like 20 free leads. So you can pull 20 leads, and then you can skip them for free during the trial.
Oh, cool.
But it's like $50, I think, is where it starts off at. So I would do that. And then if you need to move up, you can. I think you still have the driving for deals in there that you can save stuff. You pay extra for the extra lead information. Like pre-foreclosure, tax delinquent, you pay for all that extra stuff.
Okay.
You can still do a lot with the bare bones. So message me on Facebook or text me the address of that property so I don't forget, and then I'll see if I can find it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate you, and I hope you feel better and better each day.
Oh, I do. It's so, oh man, like mouth breathing is not for me.
Yeah, I hated that. That's awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. My husband has that problem a lot.
Hand sanitizer, wear a mask, please.
Right.
Please say, because and that's not even COVID. That was just a sinus infection.
Right, a sinus infection. They're horrible.
Oh,
it's
man.
Horrible.
Okay, so I'll be talking next time about my new like how to set up your team, how to find people like Tasha, who are good with talking to people on the phone. They're a go-getter, but also how to get that person without ambition, because like she never said anything about like going off and doing her own thing. Like
Yeah.
Terrell, I gotta watch him because I can't give him, all of my gems, because he's like, one day I'm gonna make it big like you and be a wholesaler. So you don't want to create your competition.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna be talking about that on the 19th. So be sure to register for that, and I'll remind you all then. And your homework is to do all of this research. Go look up a zip code or a county and find out where the most buyers are buying at, where they're paying the most, and where they're buying multiple properties, and
Okay.
and build that list of buyers, and then find that zip code in the area that people are buying, and then pull a seller list there and sell your properties.
Okay. Sounds real easy, but I'm gonna do my best. I've been working at it regularly. So
All right.
I'll have something to present to you next meetup.
Okay. All right. Yeah. You get a deal under contract and market it to us at the end of this month.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I look forward to the next meetup.
All right. Me too. I'll see you then. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.